Hey guys, happy Monday. It's Michael. I hope you're having a fantastic Monday and a really great week. This video is a little different from any video that I've ever posted. This week I wanted to make my coming out video and share that with you. So yeah, some of you may know this, and well, some of you may have kind of gathered the information, especially if you're following me on social media. But I am gay, and I wanted to share my journey up till this point. And so first we gotta travel back. Let's rewind and start at the beginning. So I think first you should know that I went to a private school throughout my whole education, and it was good. I didn't have a problem with it. So, little me, I'm growing up, and elementary school is the first time I heard the word gay being used, and it was interesting. I didn't really understand it, and I mean, we were as a whole school very sheltered, and I felt very sheltered growing up and even in high school and everything. But elementary school was the first time, and I specifically remember it because we were all standing in line and someone said oh, I'm gay, and they would get the other person, another person, to say oh, I'm gay too, because they're oh, it means happy. And then when the other person said it, they would make fun of them, or they would say, oh, ha ha ha, And so I think that was the first time I really put the word together, oh, there's this meaning and then there's this meaning. One means you're happy, one means something else, and it's not a good thing, so you don't want to be that. And so that was my first experience with the word and the meaning of the word, and how people just, it was kids, my classmates would do that. And I don't think they they didn't target anybody, and it wasn't a huge, thing, but that was the first moment where I knew there was something different about some people, and being that was not good. So then I went into middle school, so 7th and 8th grade, and that was a very confusing time, I would say, because it was just different, I think, because you kind of merge with a couple other schools. So there's people that you've known forever, and then there's the people that are you're just meeting for the first time. And people have the talk during that time, which is the sex talk, and that's great. And then people start pairing up and they start dating, and it lasts a week, and that's fine. But I think I remember one of my friends, we were really good friends throughout elementary school and into junior high and through junior high, and I remember the question being asked, oh, who do you like? What girl do you like? And I'm well, no one. I wasn't interested in anybody of either gender, and I was just I wasn't interested in that. And so I said, no, I don't have anybody that I like. And they're oh, there's got to be somebody. Who do you like? And I'm I don't like anyone. That's my answer. That's what I'm thinking. It's that is my answer. I don't like anybody. And they keep pushing you, right? And so then I'm well, I told you my answer. Now I have to come up with something. I got to come up with something. So I came up with this girl that was in my class, and I said her name, and I was oh, I like this person. And they were fine with that, right? And I'm okay, whatever. Moving on. Don't really like her, but okay. I mean, in that way. She was a nice person, but I wasn't attracted to her. And so, the next week or something, like the next couple days, and this is a small school, so it's like a small class, all these other people, all my other friends knew that I liked this girl, and I'm like, wait a minute, I told one person. So I know who told all of these other people that I like this girl, and so I was really upset. I was kind of hurt, actually, because it was like a betrayal. It was a betrayed friendship, and I was like, are you serious? I told you what my answer was, and then, you try to get more out of me, and I'm like, I don't have anything, so I made it up. So I was kind of upset that it was being spread around. And I think that kind of pushed me over. I switched friend groups a couple different times in high school, just because I was like, okay, these people, I'm kind of over it with these people, and then I switched to a different group. But I think that was the first, I didn't know where I was at. And in junior high school, I wouldn't, there was a couple girls that I was like, okay, I'm like, I liked them, I flirted, sort of. I stayed behind after class, and this one girl was there, and I was like talking about like exercise or something, and now I'm doing it, I was talking about exercise or something, and she, I remember her like touching my abs, because I was talking about how like, oh, I like ab workouts and blah blah blah. So I remember that, and then there's another class where I was, I'm like putting my leg up, like, yeah, look at my leg, it's awesome, like weird stuff like that, and I don't know, it was weird. So that was like my flirting back in junior high. And so I was in this weird, I don't really know where I'm at, I just kind of want to go to school kind of thing, because there were people that I've known so long that I was just like, you're like someone I've known for 10 years, I'm not attracted to you all of a sudden. And these newer people, like, when we entered high school, I knew them for 2 years, so it's just like there's nobody new. And when you know everybody, that to me is hard. Junior high was a little bit of a weird thing where I wasn't sure, like, I'm trying to like girls, but I'm not attracted to anybody, and I wasn't really attracted to any of the guys at my school, so I was like, okay, I don't know where I stand. And then in high school, I remember I was like, yep, I like boys now, for sure. That was obvious in high school, yeah. But no way was I going to tell anybody any of this, because it wouldn't have been a good thing to do. I don't think anyone would have reacted very well at all. We would never know, because I didn't do it, but this was a long time ago, in 2006 is when I entered high school, so it was 10 years ago I entered high school, and things were a lot different, and I was in a very conservative bubble of a place that everybody who was gay was in the closet, and they would come out after high school. So I remember one time I was in the bathroom, and this guy came up to me, and he said something like, "You're queer," or something like that, and I was like, what are you talking about? I didn't even know what that meant, right? Like, that's how sheltered this was. But not only did I not know what that word meant, I didn't really care what he had to say, because I'm like, you're an underclassman, and you're talking to me, and I don't, like, I don't want to talk to you and I just want to leave. So bye, Felicia. Kind of. That's what I did. I was like, okay. I literally said, I think he said that and I go, okay, bye. I no reaction. He was trying to get a reaction out of me and I'm just like, uh-huh. Okay, goodbye. And so I remember that happening, which is kind of funny, thinking back at it. I think he was trying to like bully me, you know, or he was being rude, and I was just naive and I didn't really care. And even if I had known what the word meant, again, I don't think I would have really cared what he thought. But I do remember a different time. This was later in high school. I think it was in my senior year of high school. I know we did debates, and this was for sure my senior year. We had a debate class, and there was a debate. We were divided into like different topics, and we were on teams. And one of the topics was homosexuality, and if it was right or wrong. And you had the pro side and the con side, or the for and the against side of the argument. And I remember I was like, I do not want to be on this debate. I'm like, I don't want to do it, because if I'm on the con side, I'm like, I don't really want to have to be on that side, because I'm not against it. And I don't want to be on the for side, because if I'm on the for side, I could be made fun of. And so I was just like, I don't want to be on that debate. So I was on a different debate. I was on this animal cruelty debate, and I was interested in that at the time. So I was like, that'll work perfectly for me, and that's what I went to. But I remember specifically, the reason why I'm telling you this is because there was a comment that was made by one of the students about like gay people, and he said, oh, if anybody came out at our school, we wouldn't accept them and they would just leave. Which is true. Like, I knew that's how most of the people felt at this time. I won't speak for everybody, and you really can't, because no one did it. No one does that, because no one comes out at that school or at my high school, because that's what would probably happen. That's the most likely thing that happens. You leave the school because no one would accept that. And I think that maybe now it would be changed a little bit, because people are progressing forward. But that comment, I remember that because I was in the hallway walking with this kid, and thinking about it to like myself, I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna do that then. Like, I'm never going to come out, because if I do, then I'm gonna be ostracized from the rest of the people that I go to school with, and then I'm gonna be asked to leave because I'm different from other people. And that's happened in this day and age. It still happens, but this was like like I said, I entered high school 10 years ago, so different time. And people, you're just with a people that don't have a lot of acceptance, and not just the students, but the teachers themselves. So it was definitely an interesting dilemma, but I still had a really good high school experience. I would not have done that in high school. Maybe if I had, everything would have changed. My life would be completely different from it is now. But I would have probably made a video way sooner than I am today. So anyways, that is kind of like what high school was. And then after high school, I took a year off, and I like entered the real world where, you're dealing with real people. And so during the whole high school era, I had the whole, like, I knew I was gay on the inside, but I obviously didn't show that. And I did a whole like bisexuality in my head kind of thing where I was like, oh, I like both, you know, but I just haven't found the right person. And but in reality, I was gay, as it could be. And and I was like, oh, these, you know, this boy or that boy, and I'm just like, oh, I like him, I like him, I like him. I'm like walking down the halls, and I'm just like, yes, 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 no, yes, yes, yes. So that happened, and then, okay, so after high school, now we're after high school, and so I had that whole, like, I'm bisexual, and I'm going to, like, both genders, yay, because I'm not okay with just being gay. So, and then I think like that whole year happened, like my year break from school, and I really wasn't having any luck like being attracted to another person. There was nothing there. And so I figured out a word for that, like a group under the LGBT umbrella, and it's called asexual. And so I was like, oh, that's kind of perfect. I must be asexual because they're just like, there's nobody there. I'm not attracted to anyone out there. I haven't met the person, so maybe I'm just asexual, and that's what I'm gonna do because I can't be gay. That's what it really was. It's like, I can't be gay, so I'm not bisexual, I'm just asexual, and I don't like anybody, and I just kind of want to have a bunch of friends, and that's what I'm good at. And so that happened, and then the moment I'll tell you, there was a moment, and it was when this guy, where I worked, this guy got hired, and he had worked for the same place that I worked, and so he came in, and he came in for this interview, and I saw him because I was working the same night that he was asking about a job, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that boy is cute. And I'm thinking like to myself, holy crap, whoo. And so I'm like, I like him. And so he eventually got a job, like, I don't know, within the week or whatever, and he started working, and I'm like, oh no, I really like him. And there's a thing that I have is like, I don't date people that I work with, but he might have been the exception. He would have been the exception, definitely. So we worked together. I think we worked together for like 3 years or 3.5 years, and what he did for me was really good. He pulled that asexuality right out of me, because he was unbelievable just as a person, like an unbelievable person. I had a huge crush on him through the whole time we worked together. He made me really nervous. I bet he still does to this day. I haven't seen him in a while, but my heart would like beat out of my chest. Like I'm thinking like I'm gonna have a heart attack because my heart is beating so hard, like boom, boom, boom. I'm like, he's gonna hear my heart. He made like, I was like getting hot, and like my mouth is getting super dry, and he gave me all the feels. And he, like, we would also be, he would be like over here, and I'd be over here or whatever, and we're doing our jobs, and we'd have these really deep gazes, you know, like where our eyes meet and we're just like staring at each other, and it's like, oh, you know, like across the room kind of thing. I'm like, holy crap, I'm falling like so hard for this guy. And I don't think he knew it necessarily, or maybe he did. I think it's on some level he did know that I really did like him, just from some of the comments that he made. But yeah, that happened. I had a huge crush on him. I kind of still do. But I think we kind of moved on. We had a really bad, like timing wise, because I was still figuring my sexuality out, and I think that he I wasn't sure about him, so that made it difficult because I was like, oh, should I ask him out or not? And I didn't want to ask him out because if he said no, I still had to work with him. And then he stopped working, and he would come in sometimes, and I'm like, oh, I should ask him out the next time I see him. But I would get really nervous around him, and so I never ended up doing that. And then I left for school, so I'm like, well, I'm moving away, so like, why would I ask him out now? So I kind of regret that. I wish I had like asked him out, and I am not really sure. Maybe he's bisexual or something. I don't really know. I didn't ask him. I don't know if he had feelings for me or not. I don't know, but it seemed like he did. Anyways, so that happened, and then I realized that, oh yes, I am actually gay. So then YouTube happened, and I was exposed to the world of LGBT and the world of internet and YouTube and everything like that. And I learned a lot really fast, and I kind of fell in love with it, and that's why I wanted to make this video and more videos in the LGBT sphere of thought, because I think they're really important, and I wanted to like give back to that community because they gave me something. You know, I've taken so much information from them, and I wanted to share my story with YouTube and with you guys that are watching, because it's important to do that. It's important to share someone's story because you don't know what kind of video is going to make an impact on somebody. And I've watched tons and tons and tons of coming out videos, and they've really helped me, and I hope this video somehow helps you, or maybe you're just, you know, interested in LGBT issues and stuff like that, and this is the first of a bunch of videos that I wanted to make, or want to make, and I've wanted to do it for a really long time, and so I wanted to start with this video, and then like progress forward, but yeah, I think that I want to be free and open and honest and authentic, because it's really hard not to be that, you know, like it's really hard to just go around every day and just be like, I am just a robot, kind of like, you know, like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do every single day because this is what is assigned to me for like schedule or work or this or that, and it's just routine, and you keep doing it and doing it and doing it, and then you realize, oh, you know, 4 years has gone by, and what have I done? I've just done what I always do, and I get into this really weird routine, and so I'm playing a character that's not me, if that makes any sense, you know? It's like you're not being authentic to who you are, and so I think that's what I wanted to make this video, or why I wanted to make this video, and to give back to the videos that have given to me what they have. So that's pretty much it. Now I'm here, and yeah, I am living life, and you know, who knows what is gonna happen. I don't know, but I'm sure I'm gonna update you guys as it happens and goes along. So that's my story so far. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up, and if you have any comments or questions, you can always leave them below. Maybe I'll just answer a bunch of them, or like maybe I'll just answer a bunch of them in the comments, or maybe I'll make more videos. But yeah, definitely expect a series from me coming up soon. I'm really excited about it. So yeah, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys next Monday. Thanks for watching. Peace, love, bye.